You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Welcome to I Am Refocused Radio, man. Once again, we are here today. We have another show line for y'all, man. Today, we have a powerhouse, man. We have Dr. Glenn Toby. He is a living blueprint of resilience, reinvention, and real impact. From surviving the streets of Brooklyn as a homeless child to rising in the music industry as a trailblazer, wealth manager to elite athletes, and also the heart behind the Book Bank Foundation, which is very popular. We're going to learn why. When we learn about his story, I think you're not just going to be inspired. I think you're going to understand what can happen when you use your time correctly. First and foremost, I want to say to you, Dr. Toby, how you doing today, man? I appreciate you be on the show.
Honored to be here. I know you guys are on fire, so I'm glad to be here.
Well, I know you have so much more on your resume, but it'll probably take a few days to go over that. So I just want to cut to the chase and say, man, tell us a little bit about your background and how did you get started to the road towards success? Because you have a lot of things you do.
So I'm born in Brooklyn. Raised in Queens. I experienced youth homelessness. I was homeless from 8 years old until the 7th grade. But I was born rich. We just didn't have any money. We got displaced a little bit from financial support, the food stamps, the food lines, welfare, and families who loved us, our own families and relatives. And we journeyed through it unscathed. No one was harmed. No one was hurt. We would just look at the world as though we were on a journey as a kid. Sometimes my brother Randall and I, we would travel on the subways after school, go to museums after school. So we were incredible readers. We had no fear at that time and very disciplined, and that allowed us to be well educated by the time I get to Hollis, Queens, home of Run DMC and Russell Simmons. Just before Run and Cool J and any of these guys were here, it was basically Grandmaster Flash from the Bronx, Graham Wizard Theodore, Cold Crush. Then came the emergence of the new school rappers of that time, which would be Curtis Blow, and I was one of the first rappers in Queens. Went by the name of Mr. Sweetie G, making the pause tapes. I was with Infinity Machine, Cypher Sounds, Disco Twins, these little groups, and then I joined Mike and Dave and started going around to all 5 boroughs just as records started coming out. I didn't have the big record. I had a critically acclaimed record called Like the Place to Be. Sugar Hill, Sylvia and her team offered me a deal. I turned it down. They wanted 100% of my publishing. I didn't do it. Put out those records from there, went on to be one of the founders and pioneers in New York City house music, which would be New York City Garage. Larry Levan, the Club Garage. I was one of the male vocalists on the R&B side with Colonel Abrams, D-Train, guys like that. I was one of the last of them that came because I was coming off the hip-hop vibe. Then I was honored to manage LL Cool J with Brian Latour, Charles Fisher. We managed Cool J for 4 years. We did the show In the House, and we brought you this album, the Mr. Smith album. That was a lot of fun. We discovered R. Kelly. We discovered David Banner. I discovered Positive K. Saigon was one of mine. Went on to go into film and TV as well, obviously with Jason Mitchell with the 200 million sold and Straight Outta Compton and The Shy and these other wonderful things. Also had many great television actors, but we won't even go on with the names. You can see it on my curriculum vitae here online, but I'm just a servant of these people. From there, I go into where I am now doing venture capital. We're in the health sciences, biotech. It's called RCP Capital. I'm one of the venture capitals that are looking at several different investments, inventions, and modalities that are going to render this world disease-free in 25 years. We are on the precipice of using amazing technology, which has to do with biology, microbiology with technology, infusing the causality of what people have inhibited the public from knowing, pharmaceuticals being the main cause. But we're going to live in a time where we may have to have support. We may have to have the infusion of different type of sciences STEM technology is changing the world. We're right there, and we're doing some great things. We're based out of Harvard Square, and I shared all those things because I went from homeless to being a creative. Queens, New York, South Jamaica, when the Supreme and Fat Cat and Cauley and those guys were there, and Queens brought so many people to market. LL Cool J, Russell Simmons, 50 Cent, Nicki Minaj. Then you go on the other side, we have Marley Marl and all. So, Queens was a place full of rich, talented people, right? When you were in Brooklyn, you went from Brooklyn to Queens. I was like moving on up. So I was so happy that much of my success and much of my early core was developed in Queens.
I appreciate you laying that out for our audience and our viewers, because that's why we have people like yourself on this show, because a lot of times people are looking like people like you, high profile, and working with high profile individuals. Like, wow, there's no way I can get access to that. There's no way I can live my dream. But that's why we do this show, because you guys take time out of your busy schedule to educate our audience. And for that, I just want to say thank you for clearing your calendar to give us the gifts of not just your wisdom, but your learning experience and what you had to go through, because that's the key. You do have to go through something. For every greatness of value, there's some kind of sacrifice. And with that, it cues up this next question. You mentioned moments ago about working with high profile athletes and entertainers. Being those different types of industries, what were some of the key things for you to be able to manage both wealth and wisdom in those different environments?
Great question. So being a creative, being a rapper, producer, figuring things out, right? I had some hit records in my time. I ended up managing Cool J, who used to come to see me when he was a kid. He's younger than me. And I ended up managing him. But as I'm going, I'm using my creativity, but I have discipline. I believe in ethics in business, and I understood protocols, the rules, right? But we're tied to culture. So I know when to keep it street. I know when to keep it real. And I know how to transmodulate the essence, the innocence, the purity, and the power of culture, more specifically ours, without it being delineated or watered down. So we don't have the culture vultures. So we don't have people that are impersonating us and giving us deals like the 360 deal in music. So we don't have people that are giving us the oneness of the ice that's colder than others. Pull that one off. And you ended up doing business with the CPA, who is the brother-in-law of your attorney, and his wife is doing the real estate, and her father does the mortgage. And his best friend in college is giving the analysis on business, whether it's consulting or brokering deals. So these are the pieces that we as a people have to be smart about. Tremendous amounts of discipline. Don't become what you hate. There's somebody right now in our lives at this day, and as the viewers see us, that was the essence of culture. This guy got consumed by our culture. He got consumed by the currency. He got consumed by consciousness. And every single thing that this guy has, whether he's a fictitious character or you could Google him or figure something out, everything this man has created, that was a blessing from the ancestors. God anointed this one king with the ability to connect, create music, film, television, fashion, culture, politics, spirituality, and it becomes contained and conferred when we lose our organic step, when we put the tree ahead of the seeds. The seeds are greater than the fruit. The seeds are greater than the tree. Why? That seed grows to be a tree. In the season of yield, it becomes fruit. The fruit that we don't eat, if it falls on the ground, and it's ground that is good ground, those seeds germinate and become additional trees. We have to stay organic. We have to plan. We have to have discipline. We have to be ethics, and we have to be true to something, or we'll end up being true to nothing. For me, I took the creativity of the music business and I got into the structure of the NFL. As you know, I was an NFL agent I had an agency with Alonzo Shavers. We ended up doing $380 million in business. We ended up selling the company, did an exit. But I took the fly, smooth, slick, creative, fast-moving, trend-setting music business feel and took it to the infrastructure and the organization and the rigid, I'd say sometimes economic divide, because 80% of the people that run the business in the sports world, the game is not played on the field. The game's not played on the court. The game's not played in the ring or on the ice. It's played upstairs, downstairs, or outside the lines. So that's how we were able to move that amount of business. We took the speed, the culture, the creativity, the uniqueness, the oneness of us, and we went into someone else's business and we kept it like this, separated. Every time it comes together, ching, ching, some money transfers. Every time it comes together, we talk about what we did last time, what we're not going to do next time. And continuity is important. The framework of your ideology, the concentration, the focus, the purity, the honesty, the essence of true. So let me break it down for you. I just mentioned something to you. I said the essence of true. A lot of pictures that we say that, they drew. I don't know. They make me sick like I got the flu. Guess what? I'm talking to each and every one of you. Now, this host is the most, and we know we could coast. I could run around, talk about my success and boast. But what I want to do most is give you something to roast, the competition, so that you can retain it. Matter of fact, the money and the other stuff, retain it. No, maybe complaining, that's not what we're doing, restraining. What we have to do is make sure that we're draining. Trump said one time it was all the swamp. Most of us are looking for DEI and a comp. I say be best, and play. Guess what? We're everything that we say, God, we pray. Deliver it today. If we do obey, and we can link up with people like we think up it's true, guess what? I guess it's wins not just for me, but in you.
Wow. That right there, a lot of people gonna have to rewind that or scroll back to get everything that you just said. You just said like years of wisdom in like 10, 20 seconds, man. That I appreciate that, man. No one's ever done anything quite like that on the show. So you are definitely one of one. And I want to touch on that because I think part of your story, being homeless as a child, rising, breaking every single barrier and beating every single odd. I mean, that right there needs to not just be celebrated, but I want to dive in deeper when you mentioned about the seed, how that is greater than even the tree itself, because what you're saying is almost like something that's predestined. So people on the outside may not see the value of this seed. They might not see the value of this person's idea. They may not see the potential, the power that is, in some cases, it feels like it's trapped. And what I have been able to feel personally with just this platform, the show, it started, I keep saying this all year because it just keeps coming this way, but it was a seed in the barbershop here in San Antonio. And that seed in 2017, no one had on the bingo card that it would be reaching thousands of people, thousands all around, not just the United States of America, which we're heard in all 50 states, but all around the world. So I'm trying to echo what you're saying. We see things before our time.
Yeah. Ooh, well done. Well done. For all of you listening and watching us today, we're talking about the seed. Your host is talking about the seed. So I want each of you to start being a seed. How would you be a seed? So for those of you that can see us, those of you that can hear us, those of you who can feel us, I'm a talent manager. I'm a creative. I'm a businessman. I've brokered billions of dollars in business deals. So this is how you approach every step, every bit of engagement. All of us listen to this man's voice. We hear this guy. You remind some of us, if you came up in New York, this guy named Frankie Crocker was on radio, right? Or Barry White, or the missing voice that we need to hear on radio and television. So what Dr. Glenn Toby says is, wow, if I ever need voiceovers, I'm doing this real quick in real time. This is not generally formatted. We're just going, the best of the best. We got our swords out, pause, cultural fun, and we're sharpening our swords so that we can make some stuff happen. I hear this man's voice. Okay, he does voiceovers. This is good. I have a radio show. called The Global Dance Party. That's on every single Saturday night at 8 o'clock on Freshest FM. So, okay, I have a radio station. He's got radio. I'm already lining myself up, listeners, viewers, as an agent, as a broker that has represented films on TV that you know have executive produced, or the greatest talent. I managed Jason Mitchell, the actor. So I'm thinking right now, TV show. How much bigger? Maybe he's a replacement for 60 Minutes. I'm doing this all as we're listening. He's the next guy in 60 Minutes. This television show, can I help him with syndication? Voiceovers, maybe he can do that. We can reciprocate it. He just told me the market he's in. I'm in a market he's in. We're on a podcast. Right now, in the back of my head, viewers, listeners, look what I'm doing right now. I'm coming into his market. I'm going to be on his stage. I'm going to petition him when he does seminars to put me on the panel. I'm going to do the same for him. Engineer and build. Stay a seed. Don't be in need. Don't be in greed. It's the spirit of lack that'll hold you back. And when God gives you something that will attract, make sure you impact it like a truck. Don't leave anything on the table if you're able, and stay live like cable. Back to our leader.
I appreciate not just that, what you just did, because I'm just like you. I always was a creative person, and I always was an introvert too before this whole show launched. When I had to go back to barbershop, but since we're talking about C, and I'm going to make this full circle where you drop bars. I'm going to drop bars with you. But I was called out by the owner, and he said, why are you not using your voice? It was just random. But that disruption, that was the starting point of something great to come. And when he said, why are you not using your voice? I had to pause and I had to think. And I said, I'll do this podcast, but you got to be my first guest. And he committed to that. But here's the funny part that people don't ever see on this show. Y'all see the big celebrities I talk to and all the high profile people, from military to government, federal, former Congress woman, all that jazz. I mean, DC, all that. I mean, I've touched Fox, CBS, CW, ABC, ESPN, like the list is long. But what y'all don't see is the lack of resources I had to start with when this dream was birthed in 2017.
Wow.
What y'all don't see is that, or didn't see, was the struggle of trying to find people to be on the show for the first 2 years, from 2017 to 2019. But I'm here to report, to speed up this whole process, because for the sake of time, was amazing. The last 4 years recently, I've never asked more than 15% of my guests be on the show anymore.
Wow.
I don't do it no more.
Right. Yeah.
There's someone who's looking at us and watching us, and they're like, when's it going to be my time? When's it going to be my shot? Why am I overlooked? What you should be saying is, what am I doing in the lab? What am I doing when no one's watching? What am I doing when you're stop worrying about what others going to do to rescue? When you start to find out the hard truth that no one in this world is going to rescue you, you have to be the very one that plants the seed. No one's going to go in your pocket and say, hey, man, you have some valuable seeds. Let me yank that out of your pocket and let me show you how to plant. No, when you're in the real deal, you have to figure out how to plant it yourself. That's what our guest today, Dr. Glenn Toby, did when he was homeless as a child. He could have had every excuse in the book. He could have had the best violin with the best sad songs, and he could have said it was everybody's fault. But here he is today, showing you all the blueprints of what he was able to manage with. And I want to make that into this next question. You touched over 250,000 lives when it comes to your outreach with your book bank foundation. You're talking about planting seeds. You are really changing a lot of people's lives with that blueprint, that a lot of people, if they have not learned about that, you have an organization that they can see on the ticker tape, the bbf.org, to learn more about this thing. Because I'm telling you, when they start to see what you're really doing with planting these seeds, there's going to be a lot of trees to provide shade in the future.
Wow. Well said, brother. So kind. Yeah, the book bank. So what happened is when I was representing NFL players, I had a year. Yeah, I'm living in a house, 12,500 square feet. I've got the Bentleys, the cars, Lamborghini, just everything, every worldly thing. I'm flying all over the place, multiple homes. I'm in the You saw me on Stephen A. Smith's show. It's just all this glory and gravitas. And I sat down one day kind of like this. What's next? And I said, man, how did I get here? Wow, I went from being, we were homeless and I was kind of going through it. I said, yeah, God bless me. Another year came, same question. It's favor. Nah, I need something more concrete, something more resolute. Then I said, it's the giving. I think I came into this world rich. I just didn't have any money. I had a great place to live for the equal time, right, in terms of my childhood to not. And God trained me on the spirit of lack. God trained me to trust and be faithful that I would always receive from him. And I made a deal with God. I said that I'll always give, because gift to me means giving is gift, giving in faith and trust. Gift. I give to you in faith. I have faith that this will help you, this gift that I can pass to you, that it's an anointed, appointed gift. Then I trust that you don't squander it or destroy it. But it's a science. Many will outlive me, but not many will outgive me. I was born to give. That's why God gave me such an abundance. Money chases me. I can't outrun it. I guide it and direct it because that's been my gift. God left me in the spirit of lack to make sure that I didn't live in greed or be in fear. I'm never in fear for money. It's always chased me. I'm a master of money. I guide it. I provide it. And I think I sat down one day and said, how do I take these experiences with all this money that I have and all the money that I'm managing and leveraging, and not so much money like I'm some billionaire that had $100 million, but my money was in influence. People, money's not just in the currency. Human and social capital worth more than cash. People who are appropriately positioned spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, righteously, they don't crash. Their crash outs don't usually crash others out. From ministers in the highest places to athletes to politicians, we've seen them crash out, and the great ones are always able to come back again. Wealth is not always transferred. It's not always conferred. So the power is in human capital. So I said to myself, you have a book. We learn from books. It's education. Then I thought of the bank. You have a book bank, which is a library. We put the books there. We have a financial bank, an emotional bank, a spiritual bank, an intellectual bank. So we took the books with a bank, the reservoir that holds it righteously, the education and the wisdom of the books, the things that confirm, whether it's spiritual, emotional. The nuclear family is shifting so much. You can be that battery bank. You can charge yourself that you're so charged other people can tap in. That's what Book Bank's about. It's been around for over 28 years. We serve the lost, the lonely, and the forgotten. We have 4 different programs. One of them I'm really proud of. It's called Groceries to Grow. We deliver groceries to families in need directly to your front door. Or you can meet us at pop-up shops that we have in many of the locations and chapters we have. We have something called Shelter from the Streets, which a lot of people have heard about. I don't know if you remember when 50 Cent was on CNN with me. I was the first major charity. Book Bank was the first charity that he supported. We were the inspiration to him launching G-Unity. From there, we've had many celebrities, and some of these are celebrated people who are in the public eye as celebrities, and some of these are people that are celebrated quietly. Everybody just brings $1. They bring a concept, a thought, action, a resource. There's no salaries. We don't own any buildings. We don't have anything. It's all community coming together. And we are educating people with creative thinking and with critical thinking processes. We have a flight school for young men that we do every single summer. Kids from the age of 12 to 19 are taught aviation. They learn it in the books as a STEM program, and they physically fly the airplanes, and so many other things. Senior Boogie Night, we go in and we help the seniors, and we play music and tell jokes, play cards. We come in those spaces where their families aren't there. And it's thebbf.org on all things social, the BBF. Giving is living. When you master the art of giving, when you're able to give with such abundance that you know you don't have to worry that you gave too much because nothing's really ours, you will show up every day in your life and you will be promised a death as great as your life, because I will die greater than I live. and I'm a master giver.
Man, this show, I'm telling you, if you're not feeling a shift, then you might want to check your pulse, because what this guy is saying is a lot of people will gatekeep and they will keep to themselves. So I just want to commend our guest today, Dr. Glenn Toby, for not just treating this like, a routine interview and just do the ABCD answers and jump off. He's really trying to change lives. And that's part of the reason why we started this show. We want people to refocus. The premise of the show is every day that you have air in your lungs, it's your chance to refocus. Why is it not called focus? It's because sometimes in life, it throws us curveballs and we have to adjust. A lot of people in today's world, we don't like adjustments because that means we have to have a long-term game. And we like to have a microwave success, like just pop in the microwave and you press these buttons. When you open the door, it's going to be ready for you. That's not how the real world works. So the show is to help you educate that you have a chance to refocus, gain clarity on what it is you're trying to dream and pursue. And on top of that, unless you have a foundation of purpose, if you don't know your why, if you don't know what wakes you up to do what you do, then guess what? When the things do get tough and storms come your way and the curveballs come your way, you're going to fold. But that's what this show is about, is to help you refocus and gain clarity on what you're trying to do. So Dr. Glenn Toby, I know we're short on time, but I want to give you the last words. What will be your message to not just people who look like us, but people who are trying to strive to be the best version of themselves?
I will drop a master class that is 120 seconds. I'm going to do something that is so crazy and out of the box. See, people, remember to be out of the box. I'm so out of the box, I am the box. Be the box. Decide who goes in and who comes out. Pause. Having some fun, host. Got to get somewhere. Got to have some cultural fun. And let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a deal today in front of all of you listening. So on behalf of our host, my brother, I am predicting, forecasting and telling you with this man's talent, with his heart, with, you've seen his journey from the barbershop to the top. I'm saying when he goes to, this is going to be a big show. This guy's going to be on TV everywhere. He's going to monetize. He's going to shift. And I'm kind of leveraging him, trying to put him in the box to say when CAA or when William Morris come, he's got to confer with me. I want a piece of the action. When he starts to expand, I want to talk about that. I want to be an advisor on the board. And mostly for all of you that are listening, DM this man. You see how many of us thought leaders, people that are specialists, experts that have won, we connect with him. Get in line and DM him. Follow him. Ask him questions to give me and everybody else that's been on the show. Let's be the expanse of our expanse. This platform is something to be reckoned with. It has a spiritual component to it. It has an entertainment component with it, and this guy's a star, a rock star. That's why I'm on it. That's why I drop my day. DM them, follow them, repost this, follow us. And my TED Talk is made for each and every one of you. It matches the premise of this show, much of it. June 2025 is when it's available for you. So we know that we're going to get past that, but it's there for a resource. Check out my TED Talk, Dr. Glenn Toby. It's TEDx Wilmington. I'm excited. Remember us together as well. Socially, we're going to be promoting and building. Every time you're in front of something that's valuable, every time you're in front of someone, I've done it. I've had an amazing history. His future is going to impact mine. Talk to us. Get on social media. Repost us. Get active, people. This is what you've been praying for. And if you listen to this show tonight, next week, this is what you'll be staying for.
Once again, true honor. All flames, all good material from the one and only Dr. Glenn Toby. I knew this was going to be fire when I was reading about you, and I was like, wow, this guy wants to be on my show. That says so much, and it's a true honor to have this much time with you. And I want to say to you what I watched from a movie and from my dad says a lot, and that is when you water into someone's life, you actually water into your own. And with that said, if you really want to see some fruit in your life, people, like you said, take action, share this with a friend. But if you can take anything away from this, don't let small beginnings be something that you forget about and despise, because those are the crucial ingredients that lets everything else later in life tick. And if things ain't ticking, not only do you need to check your pulse, but you need to check your why. You need to check your purpose, because a lot of times when fires start and when then chaos are happening in your life, they're usually warning signs that you're running out of time. And before you run out of time, it's time for you to shift. So if you got this message, if you got this video, it wasn't on accident. It's probably a divine appointment that you need to shift. And I'm not trying to give you goosebumps. I'm going to cut right to the chase, and the airplane's going to land. Refocus and stay focused. And with that said, I want to say to you, Dr. Glenn Toby, thank you for your time, man.
Thank you.